Welcome to another Black Squad video on my channel. I did check out the game about half a year ago towards the end of 2022, so I thought, why not see how Black Squad is doing now in 2023 as well? Black Squad is one of those free-to-play FPS games that I've played once in a while since it was released on Steam in 2019, but also before that. Because I played it though already the first time in 2017 when you played it directly through the launcher. The gameplay you'll see in the beginning here is me playing some arms race, which was really fun in this game and I still like it. Later on you'll mainly see me playing Team Deathmatch. Black Squad also has Demolition, and that's where the game starts to become a bit more competitive, you might say. We're getting to this soon. I'm gonna start immediately with a few pros in the game, and the number one reason why I still enjoy playing Black Squad in 2023 is the gunplay. The shooting in Black Squad feels pretty tight and it's also quite satisfying, especially also since there's a huge variety of weapons in the game. It does remind me a bit about Counter-Strike, although I know that some people would disagree or don't like when someone is doing that comparison. However, the game also caters towards some casual shooters as well, so it does have a mix of both competitive and casual elements or in design. It's also important to mention that the game has up to 10 game modes, although I don't know if all are that well populated in 2023, but also some custom game creation if you're into that. As mentioned, you'll find a lot of different guns in the game. I think it's up to like 85 plus different SMGs, shotguns, snipers, ARs, LMGs, pistols, etc. So quite a lot to choose from, if you unlock them of course. It's also supposed to be 48 maps if I'm not mistaken, although there's mostly a few that goes into rotation, at least when I was playing Team Deathmatch. Not sure if some maps are locked to certain game modes in Black Squad. Feel free to fill in here if that's the case. I don't think so, but I have to ask. There's also almost 500 skins for customization in the game, so if you're into that, there's quite some for you to unlock in the game. Black Squad has also been attractive for competitive gameplay and players, since they have been offering possibilities to participate within community tournaments, clan wars, and solo and duo ranked mode, just to mention some. I can imagine though that it might be less players in some of these modes compared to how it was a few years ago. And talking about numbers when it comes to players, a quick look at the Steam charts shows us that there's around 630 players on average in Black Squad that has been playing Black Squad the last 30 days. That's about the same numbers that I found out when making my last Black Squad video at the end of 2022. Please remind me if some people are still playing the game like old style using the launcher outside of Steam, if that's still possible, because if that's the case there might be even more guys playing the game still. However, around 630 players on average when it comes to free-to-play FPS game that was released about 6 years ago for the first time outside of Steam isn't that bad. Now if I compare it to some other titles in the genre, and I'm mainly thinking about some other free-to-play FPS shooters that are about 4 or 5 years old, or maybe just 1 or 2 years old, those numbers again aren't that bad. Black Squad has been able to establish a community that of course isn't as big as it was when it was first released, meaning before getting onto Steam in 2019. So in August 2017 there was around 7.5k players on average, and it could peak around 13k players. But again, the numbers today on average the last 30 days, not too bad. But could there be a possibility to keep up even higher numbers in the game, also up to today's date? I guess we're now getting a bit into some of the cons in the game when it comes to Black Squad. One of the things that I've seen people have been complaining about, at least a few, is a kind of lack of innovation in Black Squad. Sure, there seems to be regular updates in the game still, but some players would like to see more innovative features in the game. Also in order to stand out a bit in the market of FPS games, meaning the competition. We also have to mention that the graphics might for some feel and look a bit old and outdated even, if you're one of those guys that are looking for a more visual impressive experience. However, for me, the gunplay in Black Ops overrides that issue. I mean, it doesn't look bad, but not amazing either. I guess another thing that has to be mentioned is the presence of cheaters and hackers in the game. Nowadays that's an issue, of course, with a lot of games, or most FPS games, especially free to play, although there are certain developers and publishers that are taking this issue a bit more serious than others. It seems as if the cheating is indeed an issue here that also has had an impact when it comes to the integrity of the competitive gameplay experience. Some players mean that this should be the most prioritized thing to take care of when it comes to the developers, meaning cleaning up in the community when it comes to these cheaters. What are your experiences when it comes to cheating in blacksquad, and do you believe that the devs are doing what they can in order to take control of the situation? But even so, I do believe that blacksquad is a pretty cool and competent free-to-play FPS game, also in 2023. That delivers a great gunplay experience with a variety of game modes, tons of weapons and regular updates. And by the way, is the game paid to win? Well, this time around, I'm not staying too long on this topic. However, it does seem as even though some of the better weapons are purchased with medals in the game, one of the currencies you might say, leveling up to earn medals is supposed to be quite easy from what I've heard. They also constantly give crates with skinned versions of those better guns per definition for a limited period of time to try out. Is that fair or not? Well, it's up to you to decide. My conclusion here, though, is that despite the drawbacks mentioned when it comes to innovation, old graphics and the problems with cheaters, blacksquad is still worth checking out on Steam since it does play well. Is it a game that I would choose to play as a kind of a main game, or at least on a regular basis in 2023? Maybe not in my case, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't. Towards the end of the video, I want to say thanks for watching, and of course if you enjoyed, please leave a like since it helps me out on YouTube. And if you want to see more from me when it comes to FPS gaming, then feel free to subscribe and tickle that little bell icon as well. So have a great day, my friends, and I'll talk to you soon again. Cheers.